Thank you, Brian, for taking the time to review this presentation. We've had one meeting with you already. We've come up with some questions, so we've gone away and put together what we think is the best solution. I will preface this by saying we haven't gone into a lot of the costs and the physical structure of how this would work. The costs are minimal across the board. In fact, for MSL Solutions, it's basically zero. We will ensure that we get the best value for you as we go forward. But what we wanted to describe today was what the structure would be like and how this would actually work. We found this little snippet on your website which we thought was very, very good. It talks about bridging the gap to reach beyond your club, and that is so relevant to what we have today. We're in fact allowing your clubs to tie into a global market that they do not have access to at the moment. The current situation is that MSL supplies clubs with software and services, and that includes looking at a loyalty program and in fact providing a rewards program to the system now. But you're looking for an expanded one. The clubs have lots of money in their accounts accrued by patrons, and what you're looking to do is give the patrons better programs where they can redeem the points easily. So the best environment for this pool of points is what you're really looking for. Currently there aren't too many options for you. Our proposal comes in two stages. Stage one is redeeming the points locally. The clubs would retain the ability for their gambling points, and whatever points they want to accrue in the club can be accrued as it is. And the points can then be redeemed on the Easy Shopping Cards portal. An API integration should be reasonably straightforward, as we've done these before with other suppliers. There are multiple national brands available in Australia, Coles, Woolworths, etc. They'll be described later. And that list is being expanded constantly. So what we're talking about is a very strong cooperation between Easy Shopping Cards and Empower. It's a great cooperation which has great outcomes for both parties. So in stage one, when a customer of a club wants to redeem some points, they would set up an account on the Easy Shopping Cards portal. We would suggest a terminal or terminals, plural, in the clubs, depending how big the club is, so that customers can set up their account and redeem their points while they're in the club. On that website, they can then redeem their points in full by purchasing gift cards on the Easy Shopping Cards website that can be redeemed nationally. Some of these brands, the Woolworths branded e-gift cards, work at all of their outlets, so all of their branded operations, Woolies Caltex, Big W Vision, Dan Murphy's, BWS, etc. Those gift cards, there's a single card that works in all those outlets. The Coles brand, however, is different. Coles e-gift cards work exclusively in Coles, Kmart and Kmart, etc. BCF, Supercheap, Rebel, all the same, even David Jones. We do have a single card that works at a lot of outlets, but it's a plastic card, hence the Par Avon envelope in the corner. The one card works at all those outlets. It's a very, very good card. It would cost the member a couple of points to get them delivered by mail. There's no financial risk in posting these cards, as there's no value in the cards until the customer receives them and activates them. We are working closely with this group to convert this to an electronic card, but at the moment it is still plastic. Our proposal in stage two, connecting to the world, and in your words, connection to an untapped audience, but in fact we're connecting your tapped audience into an untapped market. You'll begin to see the My World branding appearing in various places around the world from now on. It begins its branding launch later this year. My World owns Cashback World, Cashback Solutions, Greenfinity and the Child and Family Foundations. Greenfinity and Child and Family are the two charities that this business supports. So it's more than just a shopping community. The members would get a branded card with the club's logo on it, or however the club decided to brand the card, or however MSL Solutions wants to brand the card. Whatever way it is that we want to do this, those cards come fully branded. Lyconet is the arm of the business that's the money-making operation. we would expect MSL Solutions to join Lyconet, as we think that's the best value with the structure that you currently have. Your member clubs would join the Cashback Solutions program. There are some costs involved in that. They're minimal. I think the highest option is about $1,500 and $105 a month. That drives the entire program. The Child and Family Foundation gets funded by every single transaction that these cards do. So setting up the structure, MSL Solutions would become a Lyconet member at zero cost. They would get a monthly payment based on the total volume of shopping points, and that potentially could be tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly. Your clients, the clubs, would join Cashback Solutions and retain 1% of the shopping volume. So if I'm a member of the Browns Plains RSL and I have one of these cards, for example, and I go to London on holidays with my family, I would book the trip through a travel agent that accepts my card because I get a discount. And 1% of that transaction comes back to the club. The clubs that drive this and the organisations that have driven this correctly have done very well financially out of that 1%. Their patrons get the branded card with their logo. Now when they redeem points or shop at any outlet of the 240,000 options they would have, the patron then accrues cashback and shopping points. So there's a very, very good incentive in that. And when they use the card and get cashback, they immediately get a text message. Doesn't matter where they are in the world, they will get a text message that says, you've just accrued this amount of cashback. It's instant gratification and it does keep people interested. So connecting you to the system, MSL Solutions would be a registered entity in Lyconet as a company. Full description of why this is the best structure we will attack in another meeting or another presentation. Lots of reasons, lots of options, but we think this one is the best one. The clubs become registered as merchants because that's the best structure for them. They are attached to the same backbone as MSL Solutions, so MSL Solutions will be able to see at all times what's happening at each member club. And every club member will be registered with Cashback World, so they can convert their points into a Cashback World wallet and spend it at over 240,000 outlets. The retail customer registration system, as we described, we anticipate that being a tablet or an opportunity with a touchscreen computer in the club where they can register, get their card, and it's all done in one place. So when they want to redeem their points, they go to the terminal, create their account with Easy Shopping Cards, but now they have two options. They can simply purchase gift cards from Easy Shopping Cards if they're local, or if they're in London and they want to go out for dinner at one of our participating restaurants, they can redeem their points into that wallet and spend that wallet money at the merchant. So this transaction then accrues further points in the global system of Cashback World. And make sure that you understand that customers will be registered by their own clubs, so they'll be individually assigned a membership ID. Cash flow for the clubs, every points redemption transaction will create cash flow. So 1% of the sales come back to the club on a weekly transfer basis, not points, just cash back to the club. The ratio of points that are created varies. And that's because the points are based on the euro, and the merchant that is accepting the transaction, depending on their market sector, will have more or less room to play with. Woolworths, for example, it's 1% if it's based on the euro, so it's 1 point per $150 in Australia. Or if you wanted to buy some new software from Symantec, you would get 20% converted into points. There's over 240,000 merchants already in this system, as we discussed, that accept this card. As an example, the points are based on the euro, so a $100 transaction here would return approximately 0.66 points, and it depends how many decimal places you take it out to as to what that number is. But if you do a €100 transaction in Poland, 100 euros equals 1 point. Very, very basic and simple transaction. The suggested timeline would be for month 1 for us to introduce the points redemption process with Easy Shopping Cards. Should be a relatively straightforward transaction, the setting up of an API interaction between your members with their club member ID and their points, and they can instantly get access to that market. Month 2, we would introduce the program to one club locally so that we can make sure we oversee everything and accrue the best outcome for that club. In the 3rd month, we anticipate being able to roll this out to other clubs, and so on. As we go through the program, we hope that we'd be able to develop jointly with you an online rollout system that would be simple and easy to understand for the clubs and their staff. Estimated revenue to MSL Solutions, 400,000 points per month. That's around $30,000 plus per month. 1 million points, $45,000 plus, and 2.5 million points, $75,000 plus per month. There are further long-term revenue structures that we can talk about that we would encourage you to look at, but that's in its simplest term the outcome that we anticipate would be best for MSL Solutions. Those numbers are extremely conservative. This program has already been awarded the world's best cashback and loyalty solution. So if you're looking to expand this market, you've hit on the one that already has achieved this status. You'll see that Cashback World is already sponsoring sporting events like the MotoGP, and you'll start to see cards appearing in places where you wouldn't expect it. In Germany, for example, McDonald's is already a cashback card acceptor and issues loyalty cards to all of their customers. In some of the countries in Europe where it's the most mature market, you'll see billboard advertising such as this on the street. Buses that run around town with the Cashback World logo on them, and you'll see this type of branding at the football. Lots of white label branding going on with football clubs in Europe as we speak. We anticipate that this will only get your members to use their card at more and more places. We thank you for your time this afternoon. We hope that we've answered some of your early questions. Please don't hesitate to contact us so we can talk about the pricing structures and the best way to create this rollout. Thank you for your time.